So everyone, we're delighted now to be joined by one man who has worked night and day for the pro-life cause and for so many other causes as a TD in Meath, and he's also the Aonto leader. He'll be no stranger to you. His name is Peadar Tóibín. So Peadar, thanks very much for being here with us today. Can we get your reaction to the abortion figures that came out recently in Ireland, because I know they shocked a lot of people?
Yeah, this week is a dark week for human rights campaigners such as myself. We know that 6,666 lives were ended by the state just in the last year. And no matter what way you look at the figures, it's a radical increase than the year previous.
And among those 6,666 babies that died this year in Ireland, there were some really tragic stories that came to light. Many tragic stories didn't, but you helped to bring some of them to light, at least one in the Dáil.
Just in March, 3 months after the legislation was passed, a couple went to the National Maternity Hospital to find out was their child okay in a scan, and the scan turned out perfectly. But they were advised to take an extra test, which cost money to them. But that test was to see, was there anything else potentially wrong with the child, in the hospital's words. They carried out that test, and the first results of that test came back, and it said that the child had what they called a fatal fetal abnormality, what we would call a life-limiting condition. And the hospital, I understand, and the allegation is that the hospital actually suggested at first that the family should proceed to have an abortion. And the family weren't interested in this option at the start. As time went on, they took the advice of the hospital, I understand, and as a result, they had the abortion. But then the second element of that test came through, which showed that the child had no abnormality whatsoever. So the family was heartbroken with regards what happened to their child. So the family then went to the government to see could they get justice with regards to this particular case. Justice wasn't forthcoming. Then they had to get a solicitor. The solicitor sent a letter to the Minister for the Health and to the hospital. And just at that point, the hospital decided to report the abortion. So people might know that the law states that an abortion has to be reported within 28 days. The hospital didn't do this. They only reported it when a solicitor's letter arrived at the hospital. And secondly, it emerged from the notes of the mother that only one obstetrician actually examined the mother. And of course, we know that the legislation states 2 obstetricians have to examine the mother in that case. So the family have been in battling with the state and Minister Harris ever since, and they promised a complete independent investigation. And as of yet, 15 months after the abortion took place, the government has refused and the hospital has refused to provide a fully independent investigation. Indeed, the hospital wants to be their own judge and jury in this situation.
Peadar, we wish you the best, and thanks very much for coming on today.